Building a satellite is a trap. You can't test a computer system without power, and you can't test a power system without a computer. It's a circular dependency nightmare. This little board is how I escaped the trap. I'm building a satellite, the coffee mug-sized CubeSat. And here's the first thing you learn. In space, everything is constrained. Power is scarce. You ration it. You shut subsystems down. You reduce duty cycles and frame rates. Communication is expensive. Bit rates are tiny, or the energy cost is huge. And you only get short windows when the satellite passes overhead. Telemetry must be filtered. Only the essentials make it through the radio choke point to limit communications. And in space, the entire distributed system must exist. Every board must be online. Every task must perform its duty and produce and consume messages. Nothing can be missing. And on the bench, everything is the opposite. On the bench, power is cheap. Communication is free. Logging is unlimited. And the system doesn't exist yet. We're still building it. Here's the real development trap. The simple boards, sensors and avionics depend on the complex boards for power management and communication. But the complex board depends on the learnings we get from building and running the simple boards. So we end up here. I can't test the simple boards until the complex boards work. And I can't develop the complex boards until the simple boards work. This is the dependency knot I need to cut. This is the auxiliary power and communication board, the unsung hero of the project. It exists for one reason. If you want to build the mission, you have to build the tools that make the mission possible. The flight hardware is optimized for space. This board is optimized for development. And here's the twist. Sometimes the tool you build ends up being good enough for a mission. For simple missions, balloons, UAV payloads, robotics, you don't need full power management or complex avionics. You just need clean power, communication, logging, and a control station link. The auxiliary board already does all of that. The auxiliary board provides clean 3.3 volts and 4.2 volt rails to the entire CubeStack. It connects to both CAN buses for priority and bulk messaging. It exposes USB and dual UART to USB FTDI bridges for flashing, logging, and serial communication. The way I route CAN messages to USB without dropping packages is a story for another day. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in this story. It gives you full bandwidth logging and command and control without special power management or communication boards. And each CubeStack board can of course still log through its own USB connection. It lets you bring up any board in isolation. And it lets me poke, probe and debug the system in ways that the space-ready hardware stack simply can't. This is how we break the dependency cycle. At a high level, the auxiliary board is three things: power regulation, a PC104 power and communication bus, and a microcontroller with USB, CAN, and serial peripherals. I've used some specific hierarchical reuse tricks here that deserve their own video. Let me know in the comments if you want to see the full schematic walkthrough. It includes a 5 volt regulator for peripherals, a 4.2 volt regulator that mimics battery voltage, and dual 3.3 volt rails. The PC104 bus carries raw battery voltage, switched battery lines, switched 3.3 volt lines, reset and interrupt lines, and signals for CAN 1 and CAN 2. The MCU ties everything together: USB, CAN, UART, debug, and power selection. Instead of flight-grade power switching, the auxiliary board uses simple jumpers. No software required. Perfect for development. This is hardware built for bench freedom, not flight constraints. If I built this board again, I would add extra SPI, extra I2C, more GPIO pins, and more ADC channels. not because the board needs them, but because optionality is gold during development. The auxiliary board can run a simple payload on a weather balloon, or on a drone, or in any UAV. It even serves as a standalone development board in robotics. It's the Swiss Army knife of the CubeStack ecosystem. It breaks development cycles. It removes dependencies. It accelerates learnings. And it's good enough to fly simple missions on its own. Thanks for joining me at 4111 Spyglass. See you next time.